Okay, so getting straight into the video, I had already prepped and applied my tips, so now I'm just cutting them down to size to my preferred length. And for this video, I'm going to be doing a tapered square, so I like them pretty long, but not like XXL long. So I do that and do my other hand and move on to my filing. You want to make sure that the tip is going really nice into your natural nail. And because I'm working with Polygel, I'm going to also make sure that I'm filing the tips themselves. Just because I had an incident once where I didn't do that, and I think I may not have applied base gel also. I just kind of put the Polygel on my nail and on the tip. And because I didn't do this, it came away from the tip and I was like, really? So that was annoying. Okay, so down to the filing, I'm just making sure that I'm like tapering the nails a bit. So I'm not doing too much filing, I'm just kind of pinching them in. And I do this to both sets of hands. Okay, moving on now guys, I just take the excess dust off and I go in with my base coat. I'm only adding base coat to the tip because I don't actually want my nails to last for 2 weeks, but as I said, I don't want the Polygel to come away from the nail tip. So I'm just making sure basically that the tips are really well prepped. Okay, so curing those on both sets of hands, I now go in with my Polygel. I only had this Polygel and another like pink glittery one that you'll see in another video. So I thought, let's go for this. It's pretty nude and basic, so let's do that and then we can just varnish on top. This is my dual pen and it's the only one I have. The struggle is real, guys. I never use the spatula end. I just squeeze the tube out onto my nail and then use the brush end to just pat it down. You can use both base and acetone to pat your Polygel down with, but I prefer acetone. I feel like, actually I prefer base, but I just seem to use acetone because I have a lot more of it. But with base, it's really like it doesn't stick to your brush as much unless you're just like not cleaning it often. But with acetone, it seems to kind of be a little stickier quicker, if that makes sense, whereas the base is just like gliding over. After using my acetone, you can see that I just pop the tube on my nail, squeeze it out, and then I go straight into the acetone and just start, shaping the Polygel. After a while, I noticed that the nail was too thin, so I think after like 2 or 3 nails, I added more Polygel just so it can be like a nice thickness and I can have a nice apex. I do just want to say, guys, I really appreciate the fact that you guys have clicked onto this video. I am a beginner. The struggle has been real for many different things, including voiceovers. You can hear my daughter and my dog in the background. Like, it's a struggle, seriously. So I'm going to get better with different things, how I position my hands in front of the camera. I know a lot of it is out of angle. I can see that the colors like going in and out as well. So I will get better with all these different things. I would love the support. So do remember to hit that subscribe button, guys, like, and do leave me a comment. I would love to know what you guys are thinking, like seriously. Have any questions, any comments, anything to help, I would love to hear. So before I move on to the next nail, I have to make sure that the first nail is totally cured because the Polygel is runny, and so if you haven't cured it and you move on to another nail, before you know it, it's going to be like all over your finger. So just make sure to cure as you go along. Even if you want to add layers, I've noticed that sometimes it doesn't cure all the way down to the bottom, and I think that's just because I have like a 6-watt nail lamp. And don't worry, I'm gonna do a nail haul soon where I'm gonna have a better UV lamp. But yeah, don't forget to cure as you go along, even if you want to add more thickness to each nail. Soon you'll be able to see that I add a little bit more to the nail tip because it was really thin, so I thought I'd just add a bit more and cure it all at once. I do the other nails off camera just to avoid having a really long video. I'm going to try and keep all my videos to about 15 to 20 minutes max, just so you're not sitting there forever. But yeah, you can see the next stage. So after I've done that, I move on and do my other hand off camera, and then I begin my filing process. Don't forget to take the sticky layer off. It's really annoying. I wish Polygel didn't have this, but it does. So yeah, don't forget this step. It's very important, as is every other step when you're doing nails. So having taken the tacky layer off, I do my other hand off camera and then begin my filing process. So as I said before, I'm doing a tapered square, so I'm not filing too much off the sides. I'm just making sure that it's the perfect shape, and then I'm making sure that the tip is also the shape that I want. I don't want it to be like slanted to one side, I want it to be dead straight, so I do that. Getting rid of the dust, and then I do the other hand. Okay, so moving on to the e-filing, you can see that I'm leaning my finger on my other hand, and that's just because you want to have like total control, or as much control as possible as you can of your nail. And also you can tell that I've pulled the drill bit out a little bit, and that's just because when you're doing long nails, you don't want to have the file right up close because it kind of interferes sometimes, so I just pull it out a bit so it's out the way. Filing for me is actually such a long process. I think like it actually took me like 20 minutes to do filing by hand, and then like 20 to half an hour doing it with the e-file. And so I cut it down, just making sure that my cuticles are flush, and making sure that the surface of the nail has like a smooth transition and there's no lumps or like kind of crevices anywhere. And then I also use the e-file to make sure that the sides and the underneath of the nail are smooth, straight and clean. Also, I know that I do all my e-filing with a sanding band. Guys, don't judge me. Honestly, it is a struggle. But as I said, with my nail haul, I'm gonna show you bits that I've got just to make the process a bit easier for me. But yeah, so I do notice that at the end, just above the cuticles, you do see kind of like an edge. And that's just because I haven't got the cone bit, and I just can't wait to have these bits and the cuticle bits just to make everything look a lot smoother. But I do try my best, so bear with me, and I do my other hand off camera and then move on. Okay, so having filed the nails to the shape that I want, I'm so happy with them, and so I move on to buffing. Don't forget this step, guys. I forgot to buff one of my sets when I was practicing, and you can actually see all of it. Buffing is so important. It makes the nails so smooth, and so do remember to not skip this step. Once you're done with the buffing, you want to get rid of all excess dust, and then you want to move over to the fun part, choosing out your nail varnish. And so I had this kind of random nude that I've had for a little bit, so I thought I'd use that along with my Kiko matte. And I have skipped this step because something goes horribly wrong later in the video, and I thought, do you know what, I'm going to keep it in there just so, you know, us beginners know that things will go wrong and you can always fix it. So because I didn't have gem glue or rhinestone glue, I ended up using base coat or top coat. So when I cured it, it had like a shine to it, so I ended up putting more matte on top, and then I didn't let it dry and I put a UV matte on top because I wasn't satisfied with the previous matte. And so I do this and cure it, and oh my days, I can't even believe it came out the way it did. I was so distraught. What is this? No, I was defeated, but not really. Next time I'll just know when to start, but this, I'm just gonna have to start again. So I thought, no, let's chuck it. So I had to get rid of everything, gems included, and then I just ended up leaving the varnish out. It was getting late, I had to do my other hand. So I just done a top coat on the polygel, added the gems back on the way I liked, and this is what I came out with, guys. I was happy in the end. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, leave a comment, and hit that notification bell. Thank you guys so much. I do adore. Watch some more videos here, guys. Click on the links for more.